Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I have never wished more than for this video to essentially age like spoiled milk. I would love nothing more than to put this video out into the universe and have it just be a disastrous prediction. I want to reverse jinx this thing like never before. Because for, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe even 5 years, when somebody said, "Hey, Prof, who's your favorite champion?" I would say, "Oh, easy. Not even close. It's Quake." Even 4-star Quake was amazing to me. I accidentally, in a very poor way, learned how to Quake and shake, but I would do it oftentimes by parrying, so it's not really Quake and shaking. I just love to parry. So I would parry, and then I would hold heavy. And I'd parry, and then I'd hold heavy. And slowly but surely, I'd parry, and then evade, and then dash back, and then evade. And so I'd cut out the parry, but I'd still sometimes parry. But either way, Quake was somebody that I got around so many tough nodes. And look, I have the utmost respect for Seaton. He is the top content creator of my life. Not even just MCOC, but any when I think about somebody who's just the best at what they do, it's Seaton. And he deserves all the praise and all the credit he gets, and then some. If he can somehow be underrated for what he does, he's underrated. But I made the calculated risk of taking him on when I first started this channel 5.5 years ago because he disrespected Quake. He put her below God tier status. He was willing to say that Void was the first God tier science champion, and I said no. Quake already is that. Now, I never got an apology, not that I expected one, but before he left the game, and now obviously he's back to some capacity, but he put Quake not in his God tier category, but his beyond God tier category. So his argument that I essentially critiqued and went after and criticized turned out to be wrong. Now, I've probably made more videos in my channel's history that have been wrong than his. So that's not me saying I'm on some kind of pedestal that he's not. No. I'm still beneath him in terms of even that regard. But I'm just saying, I have an obsession with this champion. Maybe it's an unhealthy obsession, but it's just so freaking unique to where the game is. And when I asked Kabam Broccoli last year when I interviewed him, did Kabam know the beast that they were creating when they made Quake? Did they regret making her? He said immediately, you can go back and check the interview, they did not know what they were getting into with Quake, and they wished that they had made her less effective. They would say nerfed her in some way. Quake was so controversial years ago that she actually got people banned because Kabam came out with this new system because there was this way to hack the game, and it's probably still around, and hopefully it's immediately flagged and these accounts are permanently banned. But you could just, it reminded me of Super Smash Brothers, where you could, in a death match, have everybody to where you hit them once and they get knocked out. And so you could have people with, say, 100,000 health. Even defenders in, Labyrinth of Legends in the Abyss that you could kill or knock out in just a few hits. That's how broken this was. Quake red flagged the system to the point that people were being banned because they used her, and it was showing that they would defeat opponents and have 0 hits land because the true Quake and Shake way is to never hit the opponent. And so they actually had to apologize to some of these summoners. They reviewed the Quake footage, realized they made a mistake, and actually give them a compensation package because they were banned for at least 7 days. That's how powerful this champion is. Well, I was holding out my last bit of Quake hope that when they announced the Ascension details, that they would have some path to a 6-star Quake. But when they announced the Ascension details, they split it into 2 different categories, and I did take screenshots, and I will pull those screenshots back up of the slides, because in September, aka next month, Ascension will be coming into the contest, and we'll have an Ascension badge Sorry, Kabam Jacks, for cutting off your face awkwardly. We'll have Tier 1 Primordial Dust, which will be for 4 and 5 stars, and Tier 2 Primordial Dust, which will be for 6 stars. Now, of course, right now in the game, Quake is only Tier 1. There is no 6-star Quake. I still think there should be a 6-star Magic. They made the similar argument about why 6-star Magic shouldn't exist, that 6-star Wolverine and 6-star OG Scarlet Witch shouldn't exist, but they're both in the game now. And guess what? Wolverine's regen hasn't broken the game to the point that he's too OP, and Scarlet Witch's damage hasn't broken the game so much that she's too OP. They've just fit in nicely, but not to the point that they're breaking the game. I don't even know in Battlegrounds if I've seen anyone use Wolverine or OG Scarlet Witch, because where the game is right now, and if you're relying on, say, a Quicksilver synergy or an Apocalypse synergy, depending on the champion, you can't use synergies in Battlegrounds. So, Quake doesn't need synergies, though. Not going to be the fastest fights, and that's also why I'm like, hey, Quake for Battlegrounds is going to lose fights because it's going to take too long. Even a rank 5 6-star, although who knows, maybe I'll be wrong with that. But I just thought Ascension, if on paper when they discussed it, it was going to involve at least your 4, 5, and 6-star of that champion, maybe they're going to lay a path where eventually 6-star Quake is going to come in the game. That was not met with any hope now, because 6-star Quake is a completely different category of Ascension than 4 and 5-star Quake. And so there could just be a world that exists where if 6-star Quake is never released, she always stays in the Tier 1 and Primordial Dust. And you want to talk about a champion that they're hoping just becomes more and more irrelevant, because if you don't bring a 6-star in, Quake's, even as a rank 5 5-star, Quake's health and attack pool is so low, especially compared to 7 stars, that, yeah, she still breaks the game, but she's irrelevant. And so their goal of getting her to not even be someone we think about in terms of future content is succeeding. We're ascending our 6 stars to rank 3 7-star level. We're going to eventually have 7 stars that go to rank 3. We know that from the best rewards of the new contest. But nothing about 5-star Quake. I think they regret making her. We know that for a fact. I don't even think I know that. And I think they know that they can't nerf her. And so the best thing to do is just to have her be irrelevant. Just to have her attack and health be so low that it would be illogical to bring her in over another counter, especially when they can make money off of, like, Photon, since she's going to be Science. I hope this ages terribly. I hope in the next month we get some kind of clue that 6-star Quake's coming in the game, and you can look back on that and be like, remember when Prof Hoff made that rant about how Quake was becoming irrelevant by design and she was going to be done? Wrong again. I will laugh at myself gladly. Please, Kabam, make me mock myself by making this video be irrelevant, because I don't want this to be true. And yet, after Friday's lengthy live stream, I have less hope for a 6-star Quake than ever before.